my daughters, when they were very young, I gave them this brand. And this was the only brand that kind of sembe that we eat. There were others, but this is what we grew up with. My grandparents, my daughters, and now my grandchildren. And as little, children, you give them the rectangular or like the star shape mixed with this, and then the red one, the half moon shape of sembe, that's spicy. So this is another. These are the two kind of like products that Japanese food snacks that I grew up eating. Another one is this caramel, and this is so good, and we call this calamelu in Chamorro. And this was another snack or candy. This is a caramel brand. And I grew up eating this as a little girl back in the 70s. And then so did my daughters and my grandchildren. And look at the inside container. I ate most of it, but I did save one to show you. And I'll get to this. So my mom sends us a care package. She sends me a care package, my daughters, my grandchildren, and this is in that care package. So this is what it looks like. It's caramel, but it is so good. I grew up eating this as a little girl. It's so good. It's chewy. You get a subtle caramel flavor. Really good. And this is what it looks like. This is such good caramel. And I grew up eating this as a little girl. Last but not least, this gum. So I grew up eating this. This is like my daughter's favorite. They have good memories of this. My grandchildren, my granddaughters, because I think Levi and Callan, my grandsons, they were still too young for this. Callan is just turning, he just turned 6, and Levi is just turning 5. So they were still too young, but definitely my granddaughters, 3 generations, and probably, I don't know, maybe my mom, or we all grew up eating this. And this is gum, and it's pretty good. And all of them have just very subtle sugar. They're not extremely like sweet. Those are just an example of some of the Japanese snacks that I grew up eating as a little girl, that my daughters also grew up eating, and my grandchildren eat currently. And what I love about those that I showed you, they're just very subtle in the sweetness of it, and I love it. It's just very softly sweet. And I think that's nice as a young kid to just have that flavor in regards to candy, things being just softly sweet. So some of the newer items that we love, this was something I didn't have as a little girl, but eventually this was something my daughters grew up with, are these cookies. And these are so good. They're a mix of like, this darker one is chocolate, and this is kind of like this is really a really good cookie. So this has a coffee flavor, and this has a chocolate flavor, and then the surrounding biscuit, it's really soft and crumbly, and this is so good. If you see this and if you see this at an Asian store and you haven't had it, definitely recommend this. This is such a good cookie. And I grew up eating Sky Flakes, but this is something new that I tried. It's this condensed filled Sky Flakes, and oh my god, I mean, Sky Flakes with butter is it's so good. And Sky Flakes is a Filipino brand, but we've been eating Sky Flakes since we were young. But this one filled with condensed milk, oh my god, this is so good. My granddaughters and I think Callan does like this too, and Levi, but definitely my granddaughters, they love Skyflakes. I'm sorry, I forgot about this one. So this is another snack that I ate as a little girl, but this is a different brand. The original brand is Meiji's Corn Puffs, and we call it curry chips, and we grew up eating this type of chip as young kids in the early 70s. And then for some reason, they stopped making that specific type that has been around for years, for generations. And now this is the other brand that makes it. But these, and it's empty, but I saved the packaging so that I could show you. And these come in a variety of flavors. And this is my favorite, the curry flavor. And there's another one, it's green. It's a green colored bag, and that has a corn. So I got this, the curry flavor, and I did get the green bag for Levi, and because that green, the green bag curvy puffs, those just have a bit more subtle flavor. This curry flavor, it's a bit more stronger for the younger kids, and the green one is a bit more, it's a bit more subtle for younger kids. But I like them both. I definitely like the curry because it has a stronger flavor to it. But if you haven't tried these and you see these at the store, at an Asian store, definitely get it and give it a try. One of the soba, instant soba brands, we never grew up eating those instant bowls and cup of noodles. We didn't grow up with that. What we grew up with was this particular brand, Sapporo Ichiban. And Sapporo Ichiban, these are more of the newer flavors, but this brand, Sapporo Ichiban, and before it was the red one, the regular red colored Sapporo Ichiban that we grew up eating. And now there's just so many, a variety of soba options, instant soba options. But this is, I mean, we've been eating it our whole lives, instant. And cup of noodle is just, we just never did cup of noodle until I moved to the States. And this is really, so in regards to instant soba, if you haven't tried the Sapporo Ichiban brand, this is really good instant soba. It's flavorful. It's really quality instant soba in the instant soba department. So some of the random things I did get at Uwajimaya is this Hawaiian iced tea mix. All I need to do is just add water, and so I did get this. Another thing that I did get is this mapo tofu sauce. I've got tofu and I've got some ground chicken defrosted in the fridge. So I'm gonna do like probably mapo tofu ground chicken dish for dinner tonight. And I did get dashi. Also got dashi stock because I want to make, now that, you know, like it's a rainy day today, now that it is a lot cooler, I do want to make homemade miso soup, and not just, you know, that powder you pour into a cup and pour water. I really want to make homemade miso, and I've got miso in my refrigerator, and I've got the dashi seasoning. And normally I make my miso using bonito flakes. That's what I use. I use the actual bonito flakes. I soak them in water to kind of like flavor the water, and then that's when I add in, you know, like my miso. But I just wanted something a bit more simple, and I've got fresh tofu, I've got fresh miso, and